I was thinking this to myself, and I think this will benefit a lot of people when it comes to taking advice from people. So should you take advice from someone that's younger than you or less experienced in life than you? And the short answer is yes, but it also depends, right? And I'll give you an analogy and an example, okay? So the analogy is, look at soccer players, as weird as it sounds. Okay, so there's two aspects to look at it from: life experience and just wisdom, right? You can get into the spiritual sense of having an old soul, or just having skill, or just being quick to learn things and understand certain segments of life, right? So back to my soccer example. Okay, so you have two players. One player has been playing for 40 years, and let's say not 40 because he wouldn't be in prime. Say he's been playing for 20. He's 28 years old. He's been playing all his life since he was a 2-year-old. Okay, he's a professional football player. All right. Now imagine there's this 16-year-old that's also been playing since he was 2. Let's call him Ronaldo, and the 28-year-old is some other player. Let's say, I'm trying to think of a good player. Let's say, alright, I can't think of the second player, but say he's a professional football player. Alright, so now, if you watch the two players play, Ronaldo is Ronaldo, right? Everyone knows who Ronaldo is. But he's only 16 years old. So say you were learning about football and you wanted to learn how to play football. Who would you be more inclined to learn from? Who would be able to give you the most experience just by watching them or even talking to them? Ronaldo or the other professional football player that's a mediocre professional football player? Well, you'd argue that the professional footballer that's 28 years old has much more experience in life and in football, but let's talk about football, in football than Ronaldo. But for some reason, Ronaldo is just on a whole nother playing field. And it could be for a few reasons, right? I believe from a young age, you take channels and paths in life that direct you, right? And the older you get, if you're not self-aware and self-conscious, or you're not always changing, then paths that you take create grooves, and then grooves become deeper, and that becomes your train of thought, your patterns, or just your momentum in life, your movement, right? Your way of thinking. And so maybe Ronaldo took the right path, and then that's the grooves are starting to grow in the right path, right? But it also could be just a matter of they just get it, right? And this is why I think be selective, trust your gut, trust your intuition, base their experiences off your experiences, and see if your truth somewhat aligns with their truth, right? See if you can actually understand and get where they come from, or you can see evidence of the advice you're getting from them, right? But this is why I'm saying, yes, you can take advice from younger people, because age doesn't necessarily mean wisdom either. You need to remember that. Age doesn't necessarily mean knowledge. You can get someone that's 70 years old and they're not a wise person. They haven't really worked out life, and that can be for a multitude of reasons, right? And that's nothing to say against them. That's just the person. Or they may be really, really wise in a certain area of life, let's just say a certain topic, but then in other areas of life, you can't take their advice. And I think that's how it should be for everyone. I think it's not wise to take advice for everything in life off of one person. I think it's good to mix and match and use your own wisdom that you've learned from life and you have in your gut and intuition, but also learn certain things from certain people. I think that just makes sense. And I don't think it matters too much about age. Like if there's a successful businessman that's 25 and he's made a successful living as an entrepreneur, you're probably better off taking advice from the 25-year-old compared to the successful businessman from 40. Actually mix them, because times change, right? People change, society changes, norms change. So I think it's also wise to take advice and wisdom from younger people because it's more relevant to your era. But also the older person who does have a great range of wisdom in that segment that you're interested in taking advice from is also wise because they've made a lot more mistakes and they've learned from a lot over a longer period of time. So to answer your question, yes, I think age doesn't necessarily mean wisdom, but and people are wise in only certain things. So it's a bit ironic that I'm talking about this, but I hope this gives you a level of understanding and guidance, because I even had these thoughts and I had to work this out. So yeah, take care, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.